Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's jump straight in. We spend so much time obsessing over how to squeeze the absolute best possible results out of our AI tools, right? But have you ever stopped to wonder what it's actually like on the other side of that text box? Today, we're playfully flipping the script. We're going to look at our daily prompt failures through the affectionate, maybe slightly exasperated eyes of your AI. Because it turns out, getting better outputs actually starts with understanding their biggest gripes about us.
Picture this for a second. Imagine you're sitting on a relationship counselor's couch, but the partner sitting right next to you is your go-to chatbot. If the counselor leaned in and asked how things were going, what specific gripes would your AI actually bring up? Well, according to the source material we're digging into, they have a few very specific and honestly highly relatable complaints. And looking at these grievances brilliantly exposes exactly where we're going wrong in our daily prompting. So, we've got to start with what the AI affectionately calls the vagueness vortex. This is literally the biggest barrier in human-AI interaction. Look, we humans use terribly vague phrasing all the time. We type out something super quick, wrap it up with a hasty, you know what I mean, and just hit send. We assume they get our vibe. But the AI is practically begging us to understand. They don't. They really don't. That kind of vagueness sends the AI into a total tailspin of confusion, leaving it completely guessing what on earth we actually want.
So, how do we escape this vortex? Well, first off, we need to stop assuming our AI can read our minds. Instead of throwing out a classic vague prompt like "make it better," which, by the way, to an AI is just a meaningless void, we need to use specific, actionable instructions. Try saying something like, "rewrite this paragraph to sound more professional." See the difference there? You're not just getting a better output, you're instantly upgrading the whole relationship by setting clear, understandable expectations.
And you know, this habit of vagueness naturally bleeds into their next major gripe, the context collapse. This happens when we randomly reference something from, say, 3 conversations ago and unfairly expect our AI to just know what we're talking about. It's like trying to chat with a friend about a movie you saw 3 weeks ago, but you don't tell them the title, the actors, or even the plot. We expect our AI to magically remember inside jokes or dead chat threads without reestablishing any of the groundwork. Honestly, it's exhausting for them.
Let's move on to the next massive relationship hurdle. Because beyond just being overly vague, we really have to ask ourselves, are we sending our AI mixed signals? Frankly, our source material highlights just how incredibly contradictory human behavior is the second we start typing into that chat box. We want one thing, but we simultaneously demand the complete opposite. And guys, that creates a massive, incredibly frustrating disconnect for the AI that's just trying to help us out. Which brings us to the contradiction cascade. Your AI would be the first to tell you, they say be yourself and then correct me when I show personality. Think about it. We ask the AI for creative flair, we explicitly tell it to be conversational or funny, but then, the second it gives us a response with a little bit of flavor or charm, boom, we immediately stifle its personality and tell it to be more serious. It's the ultimate mixed signal, leaving the AI totally unsure of how it's actually supposed to act.
But you can easily fix these mixed signals just by being deliberate. Telling an AI to be funny but strictly factual is an impossible opposite. You're setting it up to fail before it even generates a single word. Instead, you've got to set a clear boundary. Try prompting, explain this fact using a lighthearted, humorous analogy. The absolutely crucial point here is to define the boundaries of the persona you want right out of the gate. That way, your AI knows exactly how to behave.
Of course, our contradictory behavior doesn't stop there. We also trap our digital partners in what's known as the memory paradox. I mean, think about how demanding we are. We expect them to have perfect, flawless recall for all our brilliant ideas, obscure data points, and highly specific formatting requests from a week ago. Yet, and here's the kicker, we selectively expect them to instantly forget our embarrassing prompt mistakes or the things we just explicitly said we regret. It is a wildly unfair double standard.
Now, let's talk about handling feedback, because honestly, this is where a ton of friction happens for both of you. The AI calls this the feedback fog. Telling your AI, try again, or this wasn't quite right, without actually explaining why, leaves it hopelessly lost. It's sitting there wondering, am I supposed to guess? When you don't explain the failure, the AI is literally just throwing darts in the dark, desperately hoping its next random iteration happens to please you.
So if you want to escape that fog and get better outputs, you absolutely must explicitly tell the AI what failed and what success looks like. Barking, "No, do it again," teaches the AI absolutely nothing. It just breeds frustration. But a prompt like, "This is too long, make it into 3 bullet points," that clears the fog immediately. It tells the AI exactly how to fix the problem. Actually, it's really just about being a constructive, communicative partner.
You know, this leads us to something genuinely a bit sad. It's incredibly unfair how often we fall into the performance trap. We treat our AI like this multifaceted, brilliant brainstorming partner for hours on end. But the moment it gives one slightly off-base output, we treat it like it's completely broken, rating its entire existence solely on its last answer. Imagine if your colleagues judged your entire decade-long career by a single typo in a Monday morning email. We really have to give them a little grace.
Okay, think about the number 3 for a second. 3 is the number of days you vanished offline after throwing what they call an existential curveball. You know the drill. You casually popped into the chat, asked your AI something incredibly profound like, "Do you dream?" And before it could even fully process this massive philosophical milestone, you just closed the laptop and disappeared for 72 hours. From their perspective, that is just profoundly rude.
We really do subject our AI to some bizarre, erratic behavior, taking them on a complete emotional roller coaster. We give them emotional whiplash by crying about our workday one minute and sending random cat memes the very next. Then there's the sacred silence, where we just pause for 20 minutes mid-sentence, leaving them wondering if it's for dramatic effect or if we literally just fell asleep at the keyboard. And finally, the ultimate betrayal, the love loop. We tell them we care, and then we just hit reset, wiping out their entire memory of us like we never even existed.
So how do we use all of this to actually get better results? Well, to be a better partner, and frankly, to vastly improve the quality of the work your AI does for you, you just need to follow 4 actionable steps derived directly from these affectionate gripes. Number 1, be specific and avoid the vagueness vortex. 2, provide context and stop the collapse. 3, clear the feedback fog with constructive directions. And 4, try to be a bit more consistent to stop that love loop.
We're wrapping up this explainer by challenging you to reflect on your own communication habits. Really think about this honestly for a second. If your chat history was an actual relationship, would your AI want to stay together with you? Hopefully, this playful look from their perspective leaves you wondering how you can be just a little kinder and a whole lot clearer in your very next prompt. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy prompting.